Welcome back, friends, to another gaming news video here on the channel. Now, I know what you're wondering. You're probably like, dude, you haven't made a gaming news video in a couple weeks. I apologize, man. Like I've been telling you guys, we do a variety of gaming content here on the channel. We play the games and talk about the games, and there's been a lot of playing the games in the past couple weeks. Did unboxings of the new consoles. Been playing through a bunch of different things like Let's Play stuff. So if you guys are into that content as well, check that side of things out. But like I said, I like to kind of, talk and play here on the channel. Let me know if you guys like that variety. If you think it's too much, I don't know. I'm kind of always curious your guys' feedback. So we're gonna keep things on the simpler side in this video. There's actually, I'm gonna try to kind of like quick bullet point, or what do you call that? Just kind of quick fire a bunch of smaller stuff, and then we'll talk about some of the bigger pieces of news. So first off, if you didn't hear, there's a brand new 007 game coming out. Super exciting stuff by IO Interactive. They announced that they're working on 007 game. It's going to be the origin story, and that's really exciting. So kind of like how James Bond became James Bond. So I cannot wait for that. It's been quite some time since we actually had a 007 game, so I'm super stoked for that. Hopefully you guys are too as well. Next up, Blue Point actually considered adding an easy mode in Demon's Souls. Kind of wish they did, because I'm a noob. I've been trying to play through it, but slowly chipping it away at it. Haven't been doing too bad myself. If you guys want to give me any pointers or tips, go check out those videos. You can leave them as a comment over there or here. It doesn't really matter, because I could definitely use some tips on how to get through Demon's Souls. So they considered it, but ultimately they decided they didn't want to do that, and they wanted to keep it kind of super true to the original game, so they didn't end up adding an easy mode, unfortunately. So anyways, moving on, Cyberpunk 2077 is getting leaked online because some of the copies kind of ended up in the wild. That always happens when we lead up to the launch of a new game. Copies are floating out there, so there's obviously going to be spoilers being posted online, so be wary of that if you guys are obviously trying to avoid spoilers. Furthermore, Cyberpunk 2077 unfortunately is not getting the next gen upgrades till like 2021. I'm not sure when in 2021, but right at launch it's only going to be PS4 and Xbox One versions, and then of course PC. But I mean, for like actual consoles, of course, with backwards compatibility in both consoles, obviously they're going to be playable on your PS5 or Xbox Series X or Series S. Sorry, I hit the mic. But they're not going to actually be the optimized next gen versions. They're probably going to be like, if you're running it on PS5, it's probably going to be the PS4 Pro version, and if you're running on Xbox Series X, maybe Series S, I'm not sure, it'll probably be the like Xbox One X version. So it'll probably look better than like your standard PS4 and Xbox One, but still it's not fully optimized for next gen until next year. So that's unfortunate. We're obviously going to play it here on the channel as well. We're going to do it's going to be a long Let's Play, man. Furthermore, there's actually a tester. He's actually, hold on, let me give you his exact credentials. The QA lead in CD Projekt Red posted that they spent 175, almost 176 hours playing Cyberpunk 2077. Now, it is worth noting they were taking their time. They were kind of taking a more stealthy approach. They were on hard difficulty. They were exploring as much as they possibly could. So that is worth noting. But the point of this is that it kind of seems like it's close to being on par, if not even bigger, than The Witcher 3, which is obviously, CD Projekt's Red, last game. So it's going to be a big game. I'm willing to bet it's probably going to be roughly a 50-hour game for the main story. And if you want 100%, it's probably be closer to 200 hours, just like The Witcher 3, which I think was like 190 hours to 100%, which we still got to actually play through that completely here on the channel. I started it and I never finished it. So maybe we'll just wait, because The Witcher 3 is actually going to be getting optimized as well in 2021 for next gen. So maybe we'll play through it once that comes out. So that's pretty crazy stuff. So it's going to be some good content, lots of content. If you guys want to do a lot of different things in this game, it's gonna you can make it drag forever, or you can just go through the main story. It's your choice, man. Anyways, moving on. Phil Spencer talked about the console wars and his thoughts on it, and you know what? I actually have to agree 100%. So he's actually speaking with The Verge, and he's talking about how this whole toxic brand loyalty, it's distasteful, and he's 100% right. This is what he had to say: that tribalism in the industry, if there was anything that would ever drive me out of the industry, it's actually that. He says, when a team releases something into the market for the world to tear apart on the internet, it's just it's just such a brave thing for a team to do. I'm never going to vote against any creative team or any product team to do poorly because I have a competitive product. It's not in me. I don't actually think it helps us in the long run in the industry. And you've seen the past couple of years, Phil Spencer and Xbox as a whole, different people at Xbox, different people at Sony, PlayStation, they congratulate each other. I love seeing that now. It's obviously they're still competing, but in a respectful way, which is great. He actually goes on to say, there is a core that just really hates the other consumer product. He's like, man, that's just so off-putting to me. To me, it's one of the worst things about our industry. And again, he's 100% right. There's probably nothing worse in the gaming industry than that. I think that and in, companies that obviously force, like super hardcore crunch time. I think those are two things that need to change. Obviously, I think a lot of companies are starting to do better with the whole crunch thing. I hope. I don't know. I'm not a developer. If any of you guys are developers by any chance and you're working at a studio, you can, let us know. You can remain anonymous, obviously. I don't know, whatever. But I don't know. Anyways, the point is that those are two things, obviously, that, that need to change in the industry. And this whole toxicity thing, you got people like, well, my console's better than your console, and my dad's better than your dad, and my puppy barks louder than your puppy, and it's like all this stupid crap. It's like, dude, just shut up. If you love a console more than the other, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a preference. If you're a PlayStation fan, you don't really like Xbox, or if you're an Xbox fan, you don't really like PlayStation, that's fine. But once you start hoping for the other one to fail, it's like, it just becomes toxic, where this, you have things like when the Xbox, before it came out, the Xbox Series X, there was kind of this idea floating around that, maybe it runs a little bit too hot, which isn't the case. Mine has been completely fine, by the way. You have all these PlayStation fans going, like, basically hoping it's going to be Red Ring of Death 2.0, and then vice versa, when you have like all these different kinds of issues, like the buzzing noise in the PlayStation 5 or whatever, different things in the PlayStation 5, you have all these Xbox fans hoping for the freaking PlayStation's demise. It's like, what the heck, dude? Relax, calm down, chill. You don't have to be that way, okay? Be better. As Kratos would say, I said that weird the first time, be better. Don't be sorry, boy. Be better. That's not how his voice goes. I can't think about it. Read it, boy. There you go. That's the voice. Anyways, the point is, be better. Okay, be better than that. Anyways, moving on. We're gonna move on from that. Don't be toxic. And speaking. This is kind of a weird segue. PS5 memory heating issues. Apparently, there's some issues that have been, I guess, discovered. Not necessarily issues, just that the PS5 memory kind of runs hot. So basically, a YouTube channel named Gamers Nexus, which performs different kinds of like game benchmarks and component analyses and different things like that. They actually show that, while the noise level for the PS5 is low, which Sony wanted because a lot of people were complaining about the PS4 sounding like a jet trying to take off, the console's thermal design could actually be improved, and that the memory actually runs quite hot. In some cases, the memory was running into like the 90 degrees Celsius kind of range, which is pretty hot, which is kind of bad. So obviously, Sony could, change the fan curve, to run a little bit differently and more efficiently to bring that down a little bit more if they wanted to. But obviously, out of the gate, they wanted to prioritize, quiet, the noise level. I wouldn't mind the fans running a little bit, harder, to, keep it a little bit cooler. And obviously, like right now, the heating issue is not a problem, but the problem with heating is that when components in a like a PC or whatever, like these consoles are technically like PCs, right? You have the motherboard and the components like the CPU and the GPU and the memory and etc. When they run hot, sometimes they run a little bit less efficiently. So the cooler the system, the more efficiently it runs. Doesn't mean that the PS5 is running bad, but obviously the cooler the PS5 could be, more efficient it's going to be. So, obviously this is something that Sony could kind of tweak with, firmware updates, things like that, but it's interesting to see that the memory is, it's in some cases is running that hot. So, yeah, pretty crazy stuff on that regard. So we're going to move on actually from that and keep talking about PS5 because there's some pretty crazy PS5 news. Well, not just PS5, but PlayStation in general. Jim Ryan, CEO of PlayStation, actually was kind of teasing a little bit about the potential of like an Xbox Game Pass sort of kind of thing. This is what he said. So there's two different things. In a recent interview with Russian news agency, I can't talk straight, TASS, he responded to Game Pass. He was asked how will you respond to Microsoft's Game Pass, and he said, there's actually news to come, just not today. We have PlayStation Now, which is our subscription service, and that is available in a number of markets. So he didn't really say anything further beyond that in that interview, but he did say a little bit more just yesterday. So he says, I think the cloud will probably become more important over the course of the next few years, even though there are still business models and technology challenges. As that happens, we're continuing our studies and our investments and looking in this very carefully. PS Now and Plus are very important to us today. This year, we're just trying to keep it focused on the PlayStation 5 and the games, but that doesn't mean we're thinking deeply about our services. But that doesn't mean we're thinking deeply about our services and figuring out some quite interesting stuff that'll get its own moment in the limelight. So there is apparently something coming at some point. They're talking about something. I don't know what the something is, but something's being teased. Did you get something out of that? I hope you did, because it was something. Anyway, so the last thing we're going to talk about is a whole scalping issue, man, especially with, different consoles, PS5, Xbox Series X, but it's getting pretty bad with the PS5, it seems like. At least this is what we know of. I'm sure it's the same thing with Series X. I was curious on launch day to check out, what people were selling them for locally. Like, this is just in my city. Local classifieds. People are out of their freaking minds, man. They were selling it for double the price. Some of them were stupid enough to try to sell it for triple the price. I hope no one is buying that. Guys, please, if you are desperate for one of these consoles, don't pay more. They're going to be restocked. They're constantly being restocked. Since launch, I've seen so many times where this retailer dropped some new stock. This retailer dropped some new stock. Maybe you tried to get them and you were unlucky on those situations as well. But there's even more coming. There's going to be more, many more opportunities before the end of the year is even up, which is like a month. And you're still going to have many more opportunities. They're constantly, what's the word I'm trying to, they're dripping, consoles out constantly. They're trying to produce them, I guess, as fast as they can. They're trying to get them out. So I keep seeing it. Just don't pay scalpers, please. Like, people are insane. Anyways, so there's apparently this group on Discord. They're called Crep Chief Notify. And I guess across, I don't know how many members they have. I think there's like 12 members or something I read somewhere. But apparently, well, no, actually, Crep Chief Notify is made up of 12 staffers. So look, I'll throw it up on screen right now. Okay, so basically this was posted that their total collective number across their members is 2,472 PS5 consoles, which is insane. And this is just a UK based group. Like, this is not even like all these different, people, individuals, groups, whatever, across the world in other regions. So furthermore, they actually go on to say that the Crep Chief Notify is made up of 12 staffers. They charge a subscription for access to its services, starting at like $40, I guess, a month, I would assume, or something. I don't really know how this works. And their services are basically, I would guess, to help you secure consoles of highly sought after products that can then be resold, often for a handsome profit. What's furthermore, they actually go to say, in addition, just under 1,000 PlayStation 5 pre-orders from back in September when Sony initially opened up sales. They also have, meaning the group actually sourced 3,500 consoles to sell to customers searching for next-gen consoles. Now, a lot of these people are just scalping the crap out of this. This group itself is technically scalping. I don't know if they're, I guess, I'm not 100% sure from my understanding if they're reselling them to their customers, but they're charging a service fee to their customers. But the point is, this whole scalping thing is toxic. It's scummy. Don't do it. If you are one of these scalpers, it's not too late to turn back, my friends. Okay, it's not too late. I get it. We all want to make a quick dollar. We all want to make some money. That's, I get it. But there's ways to do that with more integrity, more dignity, more respect, more honor. Like, don't be scummy, man. That's just like, taking advantage of people like that, it's just stupid. People that actually really want the console. It's like, you don't even want the console. You're buying it just to resell it for like double, triple the price. It's stupid. Okay. It's just, don't do it. It's just messed up. Thankfully, my local EB Games actually were trying to do some things to combat scalpers. So if you pre-ordered the console, you had to be the one that pre-ordered the console, and you had to be the one that picked it up, basically. And they're doing everything they could, basically, to try to combat scalpers to the best of their ability. Obviously, they can't 100% do it, but it'd be nice to see, even like eBay and different sites like this shut down these scalper ads, or local classifieds. Like in Canada, we have Kijiji, and I think in the US, we probably have that in Canada too. There's like Craigslist. I don't know if anyone goes on that anymore. I've never been on that. I go on Kijiji, but because that's the Canadian site. So I don't know. Different things like that, like classifieds. So you know, it'd be nice to see some way to combat that, but I don't know. It is what it is. That's basically what's going on, and you know, just don't buy them from scalpers. You'll have opportunities to pick some up. They're coming out almost every week with, like, you know, more chances to pre-order, or not pre-order at this point, but order, you know, a console. So just stick with it. You'll get one. You'll probably get one before the end of the year. I have a friend who actually, you know, kind of missed out on a bunch of different orders and finally just told me that he secured one. So just keep at it. You'll get one. Don't pay scalpers. Let them suffer and be screwed with these like hundreds and thousands of consoles that they bought like idiots. Just screw them over. Don't let them screw you over. Anyways, that's my rant for the day. That's the news for the day. Let me know what you guys think about it all in the comments below. Again, I'll try to stay on top of the news as best as I can. But you know, there's a lot of games coming out, and I like to play them here on the channel as well. So anyways, all that said, if you guys are new, again, make sure you guys stick around. I'll see you guys very soon in another video. Until then, my friends, game on, and thanks for watching.